Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Fauzan.
I'm Sarah.
And welcome to the 9th episode of Intertwined. So when we got married, we didn't realize that there would be a lot of complaint episodes between us.
We mean when we do something that our spouse dislikes and they verbalize it to us, mostly not in the way that we would like it to be.
For example, complaining about our spouse making sounds when they're eating.
Complaining about the bed not being made.
Complaining about the dishes not washed.
Complaining about their appearance.
I have no idea why good appearance should be complained. Complaining about their prayers even.
So today, we would like to talk about our complaint experiences from the husband, Fauzan's perspective.
And of course, from the wife, Sarah's perspective. Would be weird if it was the other way around.
First example, when we initially got married, we ate out a lot based on my preference. And there was this one time in a fast food restaurant, while we were eating, Fauzan complained to me about the fact that we are spending a lot on eat-outs. Point was legit, but he complained while I was eating. Not the best time, really. And I ended up crying in the restaurant. I don't know if the other people around us were looking.
Food was so good, she cried.
What I would have preferred was that he would be better off telling me about it while we are home instead of in the restaurant. So place and time matter.
But if the restaurant is your second home, then the second example would be where Sarah would complain about how the place or the house is messy. It would happen at a time where I'm occupied with other things, such as doing work, or there could be something that is more of a concern for me at that time. She usually whines about it and I just felt annoyed. And for me, it would be a lot better if she does clean the place herself.
The clutter you have represents the clutter you have in your head. So I guess when my head is cluttered with all this information or workload, I need to declutter it. And by physically decluttering the space, I would feel better. And because I'm like that, I tend to force him to do it with me at my own time that I feel like I want to clean.
Like what Sarah mentioned before, there's a placing time for it. Another one would be like the tone. The tone itself is what's really triggering like that defensive mechanism that's built inside my masculine body. I would really appreciate it if the tone is nicer. Instead of like sounding like complaining or ranting, it could be more like asking for help. I think that works. I'm not guaranteeing that I would actually do it, but there's a higher chance.
When I talk, I think it's my normal talk. And then Fauzan tells me like, why am I complaining? And I'm like, oh, was that a complaint?
This is also important because like the tone of your voice, you have to look at it not how you look at it, but you have
to listen to it
to see how your spouse is seeing it. Because for me, some of the time, for me the tone is just a normal tone. It's not a gentle tone, but it's more like a serious corporate talking tone. But since the spouse is used to the gentler tone, it feels out of place.
Yeah, because I'm like a corporate partner.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm your spouse. Third example, I remember when Fauzan got home from work and sat on the dining table I immediately ranted to him about how he didn't make the bed in the morning. He snapped at me, and after looking back, he was actually tired and hungry from work, which was not the best situation to rant and pick on his flaws. After we both rested and ate, we were able to talk about my rants. So ensure that our spouse are well fed and well rested when we want to complain or rant.
Just so you guys know, I usually make the bed in the afternoon after work. I agree, you don't want to complain to someone when that person is, or even ask for something when a person is hangry. No? You're not you when you're hungry. Get the heart of that person before asking for something or before complaining.
Okay, so what you mean is make you fall for me first.
Yeah. Basically.
You already do.
Again. Because when I fall, I get back up. For me, one of the ways is through food now. Through food, one, because I like eating. Because a lot of guys like food. I mean, most people like to eat lang, but like the way to the heart is like through the stomach. It stays true even like for me. I think that Sarah sometimes does, which I like, but not all the time. Which is she would say something positive first before complaining. At the times when her mood or her mind is working better, she would actually do this. One example would be, I like that you are doing this, but it would be better if something is matula. Instead of saying, why is this thing this? Alright, moving on to example number 4. We both wanted to do more of the night prayers, the qiyam. Sarah would complain about how we're not doing qiyam, and then she would be upset about it, and her mood is ruined. It ruins mine too. For me, I would like to be positive about it, so that would include thinking and planning on how to achieve performing qiyam. An example for this would be to sleep early, before 10, so you can wake up earlier.
When we live together, or we spend more time together in the marriage, there's more and more things that we require out of our spouse, and in the end we tend to feedback it in such a way that it's heard as a complaint from our spouse. Thus, we need to have a better communication to be able to feedback it the right way.
And I think it's very important to understand your spouse, Kalila, because I think each and every person is different. We may have our preferences on how
we want things to be,
but you and your spouse could be a lot different. So you gotta work it out, talk it out.
Work it out.
Gyms are closed. COVID.
So with all that said, what's your experience and how would you have wanted it to be conveyed?
So share with us in the comment section below. See you in the next episode. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.